And away we go. It's like it's opening weekend. I know we did the precursor, boys, but this is the real coach speak. Now that Florida State's a robust 0-2, we need this cathartic look at everybody else while our team is garbage. Let's go ahead and look at everybody else's problems and feel better.
And also, I want it to be known that we will make fun of Norvell if he says something crazy and outrageous in a press conference. I don't think he did Monday night. But moving forward, as this thing continues to derail, apparently, he's in our sights if there's something to make fun of.
Hey, Mike Norvell. Yeah. Coach Speak Gang is right here, buddy. We are here waiting on you to have that breakdown. He had a couple of looks last night. I watched the game again, and he had a couple weird looks we could have used, but no verbal. No meltdowns. Yeah, all time good. By the way, we want to thank our friends at Artesia Water. Once again, for sponsoring the show, being a part of what we do here on Coach Speak. Before we bring Ben in and get the first clip going, we say thanks to Artesia. ArtesiaWater.com. I've got it here at my house. Corey's got it in that bottle right there.
It's not orange.
The bottle of orange sludge that you drink.
There's some Mio in it, but I got it from right here. That's Artesia right there.
I've got a big Master's cup here filled with Artesia water as we speak, so we're good to go.
Yeah, even though we haven't been doing Coach Speak in the offseason, Artesia Water, our guys there, Trevor and the guys have been still supplying us with the beautiful, cold, delicious water that you can get in your house or your business or really anywhere you want. You can have it delivered to the park. They'll deliver it anywhere you want in North Florida and in the surrounding areas. ArtesiaWater.com, ARTEZIA water.com is the website. And again, if you've never had water service in your house, consider it. Give it a shot. They've got a promo code. Especially when you go on the website and ask for information or go see their phone number and contact them, mention that you heard about them on Coach Speak. You're a Florida State fan, particularly, but obviously if you just say Coach Speak, they'll give you a promotional offer and give it a shot. See what you think. You will not be disappointed.
Forgive my ignorance on this, guys. You'll both know this, and I'm admitting that I don't. And I like to think of myself as somewhat as a wordsmith, but I don't know this one. The water container that my wife puts in the fridge whenever we run out of Artesia water, which is not as good as Artesia water, so that's why I'm so thankful when we get it delivered. Is that a graph? What is that called? Filling up what is it?
Carafe?
Correct. Yeah, correct. That's it. Right. What is that? I've never even heard of that. What does that even mean? She said it the other day, and I didn't want to embarrass myself. I was like, what is she talking about?
I think it's French for jug.
Well, all I know is you'll get the best water you can get. Go to artesiawater.com and have it delivered. And again, you will not be disappointed.
You won't. But you would be if you had it delivered to the park, because then you wouldn't be able to drink it.
I mean, you could like if you had a generator and you could plug in your cooler. And they'll figure it out.
Ben, clip number 1. Let's get to it. Let's hear coaches and players, whomever else we got out there, stutter effing their way through press conferences. Here we go.
There's only one way to start the season, guys. I'll just leave it at this.
Celebrating 10 years of McLean Stadium, can you just talk about what the place has meant to you and what it mean on the anniversary to get a big win like this today?
Yeah, when McLean is rocking, it's really, really special. And you could see that with just our staff. I think today was kind of a first start. I think for our fans, we're going to have to win some games so that we can be cool enough to hang out with, And so we have to be able to win some games, I think, and get some people to sit at our table, at lunch, But I think when it's going like that and it's rolling that way, it's as good as it gets.
Dave, how did it feel to call plays again? Did it feel pretty smooth, the process and everything?
I was angry a lot of times. You don't want to give people anything, and obviously they're always going to get things. I think, we had an academic. There's a professor that comes to the dinner on. Last night, Friday night, and so they'll come to the walkthrough, and then they'll be at practice, or they'll be at the walkthrough, then they'll be at the dinner Friday night, and they asked that question, and it's I think how I said it then was like, man, it's like you're a fighter pilot, you get this great fighter jet, and it's all this all this stuff, and it's got all these weapons, and you get to fly the thing, but there's people out there that want to kill you, and so like you get to fly it, but you don't want to die. So that's how I feel about calling plays. I feel that all the time, and I think to prep and to do all the stuff right, to where you can get people and then they don't get you. That's hard to do in today's game.
Man, he is the gift that keeps on giving, guys.
And you notice, I think Ben said this when he texted us like a month ago, that he's not saying I appreciate the question anymore.
Nope.
I don't know if somebody came down on him. It's like, look, man, you got to stop doing that. They're making fun of you. They're making fun of you on the internet for saying you appreciate the question.
Coach speak is killing you.
Different guy now. He doesn't appreciate shit. Oh,
No.
sorry. He doesn't appreciate anything. He's just answering the questions now.
Yeah, he doesn't care about your question. He'll answer it, but he doesn't care about it. He's not appreciative of it. And he always feels like he's on death's door while calling plays.
I know.
That was, I mean, I got the analogy to a degree until he said, like, but the other side wants to kill you. And it's like, Dave, you could call some bad plays.
Yeah,
they're not going to shoot you on the sideline. Yeah, probably not.
No.
But
he
he's
might upset
man.
some people, but he is, man, he's still high. He's still high.
I'll give it. Hey, listen, though, for any coaching staff out there that thinks it's woe is you can't turn it around, Dave may have turned it around, man. They see you playing a little bit better.
Do you think so? He uses the fighter jet analogy. I don't know. I'm probably wrong about this. You probably leap to, he's a Top Gun guy. He's a Top Gun guy, big Maverick guy. I think he might be an Iron Eagle guy. Mid-'80s Lou Gossett Jr.
Man.
movie.
Man.
He might be an
Louis
Iron
Gossett
Eagle
Jr. fan.
Yeah, I don't know that he's a Top Gun guy. He probably didn't even see the new Top Gun. Well, which is 4
Iron
years
Eagle's
old now.
nice. That's nicely done. Good.
Yeah, just saying.
Grabbing that way back.
Probably the second best fighter jet movie ever. Well, third.
Definitely top five.
Yeah, definitely in the top.
You consider Baba Black Sheep?
No.
Fighter? No. Okay. All right. What do we got, Ben?
All right, this is our Kenny Payne maybe of college football season. Billy Napier, we got to work him in as much as we can because we don't know how much we're going to get him. So this is from his press conference after the Miami loss, and I don't really want you to pay attention to his answer, but more so him struggling with this water bottle. And then he gave us this gem yesterday as well in his Monday press conference.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, given the experience and how confident you were in this team going into the season, just how disappointing and surprising was this performance?
Yeah. I mean, it's embarrassing,
you can do it.
to be quite honest
Come
with you.
on, man.
Yep. That's how I feel. That's how our kids feel.
Maybe he's right-handed.
We've got a decision to make. I mean, I think we have.
That's
That's what I just told them.
Wave the flag.
There's no excuses. Keep our mouth shut, show up and work.
Oh, no.
And, we have to do better. And just keep it simple. That's how I feel.
What's crazy about it is
think that our players will show
nobody
up
ever drinks water. The water bottle that's actually waiting for them at the podium, at the dais, they never try to open it up and drink it, typically.
But it sucks for him. It's like he looks so impotent already with these performances on the field, and now you can't open a water bottle. And he was working it.
I mean, he was straining. He wasn't just a quick turn.
No.
He was straining to get that thing
We've
open.
all opened water bottles, guys. It's not hard.
Yeah.
They're also he went to some poor technique. I mean, that was the thing.
Yeah.
Like he went away from his fingers. Like you need the torque of your fingers. Like he kind of got it in the crevice of his.
Ira, you're bringing up a great point. He lost track of his fundamentals.
I mean,
lost
totally.
track of his fundamentals.
Yeah, I mean, in the
moment when the bullets are flying, sometimes you don't know who's going to go back to what they practice and who's going to just be all chaotic. And
you got to trust your technique and your fundamentals in a moment like that.
It would have been great. It would have been great if at one point he just got his ass kicked on the field. Yeah. Now if he just like broke down and threw the bottle at the wall.
Really? You gave me an unopened water bottle? Who's out to get me?
This is some bullshit.
Just loses it.
And then he came back. Ben, you have a second clip for us?
Follow up there?
Yeah, I shared the wrong clip. I'm not in mid-season form yet, guys, so just bear with me, and I'll get it loaded up here in just a second. But this is from Monday's press conference. It's a little long-winded, but the ending is amazing. I'm gonna have to fast forward for us real quick.
Yeah, he could put the water bottle down.
Yeah, that was Monday press conference. Here we go.
Technical sounds easy.
God, that's blue.
I'm sure it's not. Is it the emotional part for you? Is it hard to try to maybe flush that stuff and and present the side that you want to present to the team?
Yeah, it is probably one of the bigger challenges you have as a head coach, in terms of turning the page.
The hands.
How do you filter the results? How do you evaluate the game, especially when it's negative? And I would tell you one of the other big challenges when you do win, but maybe you were sloppy and you didn't play well. That's another big challenge because they're all happy-go-lucky.
Not a challenge that he's realized in
I can remember standing up here when we beat Utah the first year telling you guys, like, look, I know everybody thinks we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, but
who thought that?
We have to clean up as a team, right? So, I would say this, there is no better learning experience than game experience. There's an old military line like, we can have a lecture about bullets flying, okay, and we can talk about that
in the fighter pilots and the
for
bullets.
years, but when you're in there and the bullets are flying, I think that's an area where the consequences become real.
Tell Dave Aranda.
Championship teams. I've been a part as a coach on national championship teams, SEC championship teams, conference champions, division champions. And very rarely did we win every single game. And I think ultimately a loss early can be a blessing if you don't waste it. And I think ultimately one thing I can say is we have a group that's working hard. I do think that we have character. We got to go to work on the football part, and I think
just the football part. Everything else, guys.
Consistent team, and we have to execute better.
Just have to work on the football part.
These are
if
tough.
we can focus on those things and not necessarily what some guy in his basement saying in rural Central Florida on social media, then we got a chance to get better, right? So,
buddy, it's happening, guys.
I think that's the key, But
why do you have to say rural?
Sometimes you deserve criticism.
Urban Central Florida.
Things I would say.
Not from the mean streets of Orlando,
right? So we got to go get it fixed.
He's okay. He's okay with the guy in his basement on Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando.
Yeah, of course.
It's just the rural Central
Florida. Dude in Micanopy that's pissing him off.
Yeah, yeah.
My man.
I love the fact that it was just the perfect quintessential carpetbagger coach thing where everybody immediately was like, dude, we don't have basements in Florida. No. What are you talking about? Like,
certainly not rural Central Florida.
What are you talking about?
Also,
this state is built on limestone, buddy.
You've lost 6 consecutive games. Stop blaming some dude in a basement. You've lost 6 consecutive games, my man, and that one wasn't competitive. Stop.
Yeah,
Stop
and a lot of those rural Central Florida folks fill your stadium.
Yeah,
or did. We'll see. They might stay in their basement until you're fired. Yeah, that's I get what he's trying to say. I get what he's trying to say. Like, basically, you don't want to listen to the fans. You just want to stay focused and work, whatever. But, like, why bring up rural Central Florida? Why be so specific? That's the weird part to me. He's
taking shots, man, because he's having a breakdown. He's tired of being second guessed. His teams suck.
But it's like, I have a feeling Billy Napier lived in rural areas of states. Just listening to him talk, like it's an odd critique or an odd specificity.
Yeah, and I think that you're seeing the different approaches. Kind of the heart of this show. What the heart of the show is how coaches handle these different situations. And again, the guy we covered, Mike Norvell, his team is awful. At least you give him credit for at least owning it. That reason he's not on this show today is he's putting all the blame on himself. Dave Aranda's funny. Dave Aranda's funny because he's like, hey, we want to keep winning because we want people to like us. Yeah. Like, we want to sit at the cool kids table. Billy Napier's like, screw you in rural Central Florida. Don't you appreciate how our character and how hard we're working?
What if you took it upon yourself as a coach to specifically slight one small city in America that you had a bad experience
or a
in?
Street, just a street, one
like,
street.
What if you lost a game and every time you were asked about losing, you said, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Normal, Illinois, but I can't worry about what the people of Normal, Illinois think about our team and whether or not we can win football games. And then like 2 weeks later, they lose again and somebody asks them about the loss. And then you go, it's like I said, What do I care what people in Normal, Illinois think? I can't worry about it.
It becomes a bit. It becomes like an SNL bet where finally one of these student reporters would have to be coach. Yeah. What happened to you in Normal, Illinois? I don't want to talk about it. We're not talking about it. But that would be funny.
People of Normal, Illinois to describe my frustrations. I'm just letting you know I can't be worried about all that.
And look, you look at I don't know what Napier's making, $6 million a year. And he's going to be paid a lot of money to not coach here very soon. Have fun with it, Billy. Have fun with it, man. He should do stuff like that. Like he should next time come out with a whole a crate of water bottles and just the whole time not be able to open them.
Look,
do you think
got another one.
Lose to,
yeah, he's showing off. Look, I opened this one
and do it on his head.
I get this one open.
Like he's Jimi Hendrix. Do you think by the way, if they lose to Sanford, that he would get fired like on the spot?
Oh yeah, he wouldn't be allowed in the locker room.
So if I were him, I would do anything I could to lose to Sanford.
Yeah,
I get $26 million when you fire me week 2 of the season. I'm
with
on
no
the
pressure.
beach. You're never seeing me again.
And you don't have to talk to anybody ever again.
No,
in front of a camera.
One problem for Billy though is I don't think he's getting a TV job. I feel like that's in the cards.
He doesn't have that to fall back on. That's for sure.
Ben, next clip.
Hey, I knew some of these games, guys, I just know when they go final or when I see the score that we're going to get some gold. So this was no exception, of course. I was texting you guys throughout, and I think I texted Ira and I said, I honestly hope LSU loses because I know our guy, Brian Kelly, is going to give us some gold. He delivered. He delivered, guys.
Coach, is it disappointing when you have, Savion Jones kind of really rose up, Aaron Anderson, John Emery, they kind of put you in position? Is it disappointing when those guys perform and you don't get a victory?
Hell yes. I mean, and that's what I said to the team. I said, we had some guys played their butts off tonight, and we're sitting here again. Talking about the same things. About not finishing when you have an opponent in a position to put them away. But what we're doing on the sideline is feeling like the game's over. And I'm so angry about it that I got to do something about it. I'm not doing a good enough job as a coach.
I'm going to have to kill players.
I got to coach them better because it's unacceptable for us not to have found a way to win this football game. It's ridiculous.
I'm calling BS on this. I'm calling BS.
It's crazy.
So he took – did y'all see what he did? He took the cap off the water bottle.
Yeah.
And then just moved it to the other side of the microphone.
I will say this, though, Corey.
Without drinking it.
He did. If you watch his full press conference, he drank the blank out of some water.
Okay, good.
He actually drank water.
Okay. And I don't want to go through this like the Zapruder film, but that was engineered. If you watch, he wanted to hit the table, and it was all like very intentional, not spur of the moment. That was not emotional. He wanted you to think it was. But
did the water bottle start on the left side of the microphone and he moved it to the right so he could punch?
So, it was all pre-planned. When you watch it, it's ridiculous. It's not an actual reaction like you would get if you were legitimately just feeling frustration. Yeah. This is very calculated. So it's like him with the fake Southern accent. Like it's all calculated. It's absurd.
He needs to go back to that. Honestly,
yeah, that would be a fun press conference.
Yeah.
If you lose the Alabama Slammer.
So two things. One thing I've noticed from these last two clips is SEC's full of left-handed coaches. Napier trying to rip the water bottle with his left hand, and I guess Brian Kelly. If you punch a table. Are you punching it with your dominant hand? Probably?
Yeah, you're punching your dominant hand, yeah.
Okay, that's something I learned. That's all I learned. I don't know if he's really mad. I know he gets paid a lot of money, and they lose season openers every single year.
Between Florida State and LSU, now I know Florida State's beaten LSU each of the last 2 years in those season openers, but from here on out, I'm scheduling 3 of the softest teams I've ever seen play football to start my season. I'm never playing anybody with a pulse again.
Anybody that the SEC played in week 1, schedule 3 of those in a row.
There's no chance I'm coming out the gates against anybody. You can't send me anywhere. I'm not doing anything on a Monday or a Tuesday. I'm not going overseas. I'm playing Saturday at 3:30 against the sorriest team you've ever seen.
Furman and then the Citadel. Back to back. Let's get some confidence, gang.
Let's figure some things out. Who can't play? Let's figure this out, guys.
And I think next year LSU opens at Clemson. They just keep doing it to themselves. Brian Kelly's like, what?
They may win that one, though.
They could, but
they win that one. Yeah.
It ain't an easy one.
No.
It ain't going to be easy.
Hey, that Brian Kelly video gave us this nice meme that I sent to you guys. I enjoyed that.
Golly.
That looks crazy. Okay. We mentioned Clemson. I think we might as well hear from Dabo after that pounding that Georgia put on him. Of course, he was asked about the transfer portal.
Dabo, there's been a lot made about your approach to the portal, the transfer portal. What do you say to people who point to that when they see something like this happen?
People are going to say whatever they want to say. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say. People are going to say whatever they want to say. But you know, we do what's best for Clemson year in and year out. And you know, people can say, and when you lose like this, you know, they got every right to say whatever they want to say. So say whatever you want to say, write whatever you want to write. You know, that comes with it. It's just part of it.
Okay. Yeah, you got that one right, guys. Yeah. That's the first time in forever he didn't work in Jesus, and he didn't try to talk about something else that had nothing to do with why they suck. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Just write what you're going to write. They're going to say what they're going to say when you lose. It's like, yeah, but they are right in this instance, Dabo. You gotta adjust a little bit. You don't have to adjust a lot, but you got to adjust a little bit.
That's the best press conference he's ever done.
You think so?
I think so. He got it right.
All right. Yeah. All right.
I mean, yeah, the reality is there's nothing he can say. What is he going to do? Stand up there and say, my way is the right way when we just got our butts kicked by Georgia in a game that was never even competitive?
But he's also not going to say, you know what? I did make a mistake. I got to hit the portal. Clearly, I got to hit the portal to beat. Not in that moment. He might be thinking it. He should have been thinking it 2 years ago, but he might be thinking it now after he got slapped in the face by that reality on Saturday.
Yeah, the other thing about that comment, and to Jeff's point, having long-term contracts where you're guaranteed to make about 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 million dollars, give you the confidence to say, hey, say what you want to say.
Yeah. Write what you want to write. I'm all good. Yeah. You want to fire me? Go ahead.
Yeah, do it. I dare you.
Yeah, write that. I should be fired. All of you. Let's go. Ben.
All right, for the second time, I think this is the second time we've done this. We've got a player. We're going to hear from a player. So sticking with Clemson, this is Cade Klubnik. He was asked about something that happened in the first quarter. Now, keep in mind, this is the final question. So the media availability ends after this point. So you kind of wonder why they didn't just say, hey, man, wrap it up.
Hey, guys, real quick before. Hold on. Pause this, Ben.
Pause it.
All right. So I sent this to Ben. Ben, do you have the transcript that I sent you as well?
I do, yes.
Guys, you're going to recognize this for the gibberish that it is, but when you see it written out, I took the time to transcribe it. When you see it written out, this is a masterpiece in gibberish. It's unbelievable.
Are we talking about the question or the answer?
No, the answer. This is the worst answer of any answer I've heard a player give in forever. And the SID should have been like, okay, that's a wrap, guys. That's it. That's the answer, because this is unbelievable. Watch.
I'll say this real quick. Also, real quick, the Clemson suit game is strong.
Oh, yeah, solid. Yeah.
The program we cover, they come in like basically before they've even showered sometimes.
Yeah,
and not that there's not plenty of NIL money at Florida State, but Clemson, Dabo's got a thing where he takes about an hour and a half to address the media, and I'm guessing the players come after that. So that is a strong suit game for those guys.
Yeah, let's see
quality effort there. Yeah, here we go.
Dabo mentioned, I think it was on the 4th and 1 in the first half. There was something that he's used word miscommunication. What happened on that one? I think you were halfway in the huddle, or you guys were making it come off. Maybe you weren't. You didn't call any timeout.
Yeah, it was just my fault. Kind of honestly didn't understand what he was thinking, and I didn't know. You know, we just weren't on the same page. I didn't know he was going to take a delay game. Was really the thing. So in my instance, you know, I'm thinking, all right, let's not lock ourselves up anymore, and you know, it wasn't too big of a deal in the long run, but just, you know, kind of letting him handle those, and you know, I kind of just saw a clock at 1, and my instinct was, you know, call timeout because I don't want to, you know, whatever. So. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I won't do that again. So, yeah, just something we hadn't really, just didn't know the scenario that I didn't know he wanted to. It wasn't that big of a deal. So.
What?
So I kind of get what he's saying, right? He's saying
the first half of it, Corey, makes sense.
Yeah, but then he keeps catching himself. Like I feel like I just threw my coach under the bus, or I'm making myself look like an idiot too. Like we don't get coached, and he kept trying to rectify it by saying stuff that didn't make sense. But I at least understand the context.
Yeah, there's context. Pull up the gibberish, Ben. Let's see it. Look at this written out. Look at this thing. This is what he said, and the back part of that.
The vibe I had from that whole answer though was like when you can't speak about something, like somebody asks you like, "Hey, what's going on with you and your wife?" or "What's going on? What's going on with this situation?" And he just can't say what he wants to say, so he's just mumbling.
I didn't know if he saw that, and then I just knew, hey, there's a second. Then I didn't know what he was thinking, and then I didn't know what he was seeing there. But anyway, it's my fault. I won't do that again. But I didn't know what he was thinking, and when then thing was, I didn't know he was going to take the delay because that was a different situation because I didn't know what he wanted.
Not great punctuation there. No periods. It doesn't. When you read it, you're like, hey, yeah, I get kind of what he was saying, but it's like, yeah, that was.
Somebody should have stepped in. Like the first half of the answer's fine. Just let's call it a day here, boys. We're done. That's the answer.
Yeah,
that's the answer.
Hey, good answer, Cade. He just kept going. He's like,
let's take
that
it
was
out of
my
here.
fault. He wanted to take a delay game. I didn't realize that. I called a timeout. But we also just lost by 35 points. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
What do you got, Ben?
All right, how about Mike Gundy?
Yeah, all right.
This is Mike Gundy. They had a tough game. I think they played South Dakota State, so he was having a little fun. I think he was asked about the helmet communication. I don't really know what provoked this, but it's a clip that should go around, make its round. So
look at this hair, guys.
They won't let me hear it yet.
Oh my God!
If anybody's a good IT guy, we get the guy from Michigan down here and let him hook me up. Even though he didn't do it.
And he just made a funny joke, but who can hear him?
What was that song? You should know. Yeah, the song, it was kind of a partial rap in the shower. It caught me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Oh, my God.
Shaggy.
What was it?
Shaggy.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
I know that.
Look at that hair.
And then he keeps strolling off camera.
Always rolling off. Texas stage left.
This is how I would act if I had the money that Mike Gundy. I feel like this is how I wouldn't take myself too seriously. I'm always going to win 8 or 9 games at Oklahoma State. They're going to love me, and I'm gonna get it so crazy. I want him to say something. I want him to say something.
It's like he went to the wig shop, or he sent his assistant to the wig shop, and they're like, "What are you looking for?" He's like, "I don't know, maybe like a Peter Brady."
Yeah, Carol Burnett. I'm looking for a Carol Burnett or a. Welcome Back, Cotter. Do you remember that show?
Buffon. I want it at some point to have a beehive, but we're going to work our way to it like I'm naturally growing it, even though we all know I'm not naturally growing it. We're going to do this.
Maybe a Don King thing at some point. I mean,
that would be awesome. If he comes out next week, casually acting like nothing's going on
with a reverse pyramid,
and then he's like, "What's the question, guys? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody? Yeah."
I mean, holy cow, man, that's crazy. That's
awesome.
And he doesn't wear a hat. A lot of coaches wear hats. He ain't doing that. Not when you got that thing on your. Not when you spend that kind of money.
Wig, it's too hot, Corey. You can't be pushing that wig down on there like that. You got to let it breathe.
And then, like, he went into that press conference wanting to take a shot at Michigan. Like, he couldn't wait for that moment, which is cool, I guess. It's not your conference. You're not playing them. The coaching staff there is gone. But, yeah, man, it's still funny.
Yeah, I can't believe that hair. That's
Awesome.
unbelievable.
Ben, what do we got?
All right, we were introduced to this next coach, I believe, during the MAC championship last year. This is Chuck Martin from Miami of Ohio. Pre-season interview. He's asked about his kicker. Well, the problem is his kicker transferred to Alabama, but he says it didn't go down that way.
Special teams, lost your kicker. Carter McLaughlin.
We didn't lose him. He's at Alabama. We know exactly.
I understand.
We know exactly where he's at. Like you media people, it's all pretend. Like no, Alabama stole our kicker. They illegally recruited our kicker and stole him from us. And like that's a fact. But but we act like it's not. We live in this la la world. Like hey, let's not talk. I don't know why everybody knows what's going on. So yeah, Alabama stole our kicker. A couple other schools tried to steal it, but then what's the question?
That's awesome.
I like it. I like it. Don't care. And don't pity pat around the fact that Alabama went and got your kicker because they're Alabama.
We didn't lose him. We know where he is. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, it's the absurdity of the sport is these coaches at that level, they get a decent player. I mean, look,
they're gone. Yeah.
It was a topic on this show last year, probably around this time or middle of the season when Washington State's coach was talking about, yeah, man, we're not going to have our quarterback next year because everybody's already offered him, a ton of money to go. And sure enough, he's at Miami.
Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good. Yeah. Ben, what do we got?
Hey, we got 3 more guys. This is Coach Speak legend. We really got to know him last year. Shane Beamer.
Oh,
after South Carolina struggled to beat Old Dominion, guys, struggled.
You mentioned the Josiah. You had a bunch of new guys on that offensive line. You run for almost 175 yards, but just over 3 yards a carry. What did you make of the O-line performance and Rocket combined?
I know the narrative might be offensive line struggle. The offensive line played their butts off tonight. And all the gurus out there that want to break down the video, the offensive line played pretty good. Are there going to be some plays that they want to that they went back? Absolutely. We were atrocious tonight, perimeter blocking. And that was a key. With the way that Old Dominion plays defense, our guys outside the offensive line, the tight ends, running backs, receivers, they've got to be able to block. And you're not going to run the ball successfully against this team if your players outside your 5 offensive linemen don't do a great job. And we were nowhere near good enough tonight at that.
Oh, he hit the mic.
Offensive line has to be over. I'm not sitting here anointing them the Joe Moore Award winners right now, but I was proud of them for what they did tonight, and there'll be plays that they want to have back. There's no question about it, but it's easy to sit there and say, well, offensive line struggled. No, the offensive line did a lot of really good things and played physical as heck.
There you go, Shane.
There's something about him, right? There's just something about him that's really hard to like.
Everything.
Oh, everything.
Okay.
Everything. Yeah. It's just not.
I don't know what his record is, but and again, he has to throw in the guru. He has to take a shot at people. He just has to. He can't.
Coaches have got to get past this idea that they are second guessed by people outside of the program, and they take that as an affront. My man, any job in the world in which you are paid multi-millions of dollars to run a corporation or anything else comes with great scrutiny. And not everybody outside your program is stupid. Stop doing that. Stop doing that.
Yeah, and the point, the content of what he's saying may not be wrong. I mean, I didn't watch that game, so I don't know. He may be accurate that it wasn't offensive, but it's just how you say it. Like, you don't have to be so dismissive, just so
smug.
Yeah, that's his problem.
And he ain't Spurrier. He hasn't earned the right to be so smug and dismissive. It's really off-putting.
At least he didn't blame the refs for eating hot dogs or the chain gang or whatever it was.
Chain gang out late. Yeah, that's right.
He has successfully avoided taking shots at people in rural communities as well.
Nice.
That's true.
Yeah, that's good. Ben, what do we got?
Oh, we got a new MAC coach now. We've got Joe Moorhead. He's up at Akron. He had the misfortune of playing Ohio State in the season opener. And he was asked about Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State freshman wide receiver, in the postgame.
On Twitter, which is cool. So I think it might have been, I don't know where I would have been, certainly when I wasn't here, but he's as advertised, and we recruited him when I was at Oregon, and then the Tate kid. So it's just an embarrassment of riches. Everywhere you look, there's a guy that can catch it and break a tackle and score, or a guy that can run by you, and a guy who can throw him the ball, and a line that can protect. So to see that kid play in person after all the kind of a pomp and circumstance leading up to it, he lived up to the billing.
Yeah, all right, good for him.
And this is one more chance to take a look at a kid that Florida State was this close to getting but didn't, and maybe he'd make a difference right about now.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he probably isn't regretting the decision after two games.
He's not. He's not.
Yeah,
he's definitely not.
Yeah,
Ohio State hasn't missed much with their NIL game. So.
But good for him. Good for the Akron coach that he got to see it in person. He gets to tell his kids about it, grandkids about it.
Last one, guys. We've got Rich Rodriguez, Jacksonville State, breaking down his team's performance. This is a tough one. They lost by, I think, 25 or so to Coastal Carolina. So Rich was not happy.
Okay. All right.
How the offense performed?
Poorly. We couldn't get any rhythm. The quarterbacks weren't in, got a little better rhythm times in the second half, but they couldn't get any rhythm. We throwing balls behind, dropped a couple passes. up front, we didn't handle the pressure at times. They were bringing pressure all the time. So it was disappointing. We thought we had left some stuff out there, but, we'll work hard to get it fixed.
Was there ever a thought to go to Zion or any of the other quarterbacks?
Started to, yeah. I went to Tyler and Logan. About put Zion in at the end, but hell, they were just, running the clock out when we knew they were going to run it. And we couldn't get any more possessions in the fourth quarter. So, I thought Tyler responded better in the second half. Threw some nice balls, and Logan is always a competitive guy, but I don't think that was obviously our best game.
Logan's a competitive guy.
Next week.
Well, we got 2 days to kind of get this behind us, and we'll take 1 day tomorrow to get this behind us and learn. We got to have, as I told the team, we got to have hard conversations, and everybody's got to look at what they got to do to get better, starting with me and the coaches. And then, so we'll clean that up tomorrow, and then
he doesn't look like he's having fun.
Work some more on Saturday, and then get ready for Louisville. And Coastal's a pretty good team, but they ain't as good as Louisville. So we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's
By the
true.
way,
That's
what's going on with the giant undershirt underneath the regular shirt?
I think
I
he
didn't
also.
see that.
I'm wondering if he might have some hemorrhoidal issues because he kept adjusting in his seat.
Turning,
I don't know, man. The things are, but Rich Rod's the ultimate example again of a guy who's gotten paid by so many schools to not coach that none of this really matters that much. He's coaching at Jacksonville State now.
My man's got the biggest white T-shirt underneath the other shirt. It's crazy. Go back and look at that. I'm like, sir, what are we? It comes 5 inches outside the sleeve, and
I'm telling you, man, it feels like he's just giving up on it. Like he's giving up.
He's giving up. It's like when people don't shave the back of their neck for months on end. You're like,
you don't care.
Huh? You don't care at all, do you?
The race is over. The race is over. He won. He got all that money, and he's sitting here talking to 3 people about a game nobody watched. That's
also
Rich Rod's life.
Roy Logan. That was cold-blooded. Yeah. Well, he's competitive.
Well, that's good. You got a competitive athlete on your team. That
was awesome. He's
what
like,
a character trait.
He tried. He was missing. He was late. He was behind. But Logan's competitive.
He's a good boy. His mama loves him.
Yeah.
You know what we love, guys? Artesia Water. Go to artesiawater.com, ARTEZIA water.com, and tell them Warchant, tell them Coach Speak sent you, and they will hook you up with a promotion. And again, it'll you couldn't ask for anything better out of your water service.
Artesiawater.com. Good job, Ben. Good job, Ira. Corey, I'm Jeff. So long till next time. There's the man. He is angry. That's all orchestrated. You're a fake, a fraud.
Look at that face.